Welcome to Super Soul Sisters. My name is Jamila Oluka and you're watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. It is such a beautiful, beautiful day today that we have yet again another interesting guest in studio, and we shall be talking about our young ones. You know, I said that as this year starts, we are going to be focusing on the young people. Last time I remember we had teacher Rachel from Kololo SS. We said, no, we have to bring someone else who is also a teacher by training, but at least a deputy, so that we understand what are these issues that these children are going through. How can we help them? How can we as parents work in tandem with teachers to make sure that the future of our children is secure and there is no how Nigerians call it wahala in between their children refusing to go to school, others not having opportunity, and also career and guidance. So that is why today we have this show. So with that said, I want first of all to remind you that UBC TV airs this program every Wednesday 9 p.m. and repeat on Friday 11 a.m. and for some reason that you don't have time to watch TV, you can get us on YouTube, still Super Soul Sisters, and you get to watch all our programs that have aired here on UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. I want to welcome, she has a very, very interesting name. She's called Madame Glorious Boa. So she's the deputy head teacher at Mengo SS. I know most of you who are in Kampala, you are acquainted with Mengo SS. I know about Mengo SS, and I know that some of you know about Mengo SS. So I want to welcome our dear head teacher, Madame Glorious Boa. You're most welcome to Super Soul Sisters.
Thank you. Thank you,
As it
Jamila.
stands here, you know, in Super Soul Sisters, we don't give titles. We just know anybody who comes here becomes our Super Soul Sister, because as a Super Soul Sister, we make sure that you share your story, you inspire, you make people admire. Today, I want by the time you leave here, people should be going to Mengo SS next year to get admissions. Because when I was at school, I knew that Mengo SS was that school, and to date, it's a shining school. It performs very well to where everyone could want to be. But what else would we like to know about Mengo SS? So you're most welcome. Tell us. With that said, I would like you to introduce your name, introduce yourself, and then tell us a little bit about Madame Glorious Boa.
Wow. I am delighted to be here myself on Super Soul Sisters. My name is Boa Glorious, like you said. I'm a deputy head teacher in Mengo Senior School by the grace of God, in charge of career guidance, counseling, chaplaincy, and our DIT school. I am Ugandan, of course, a Christian, born again, and in the Anglican faith. I have gone through single-sex schools, except at the university, and have worked in Mengo Senior School to my joy. Yes, so when we talk about Mengo, to me, Mengo is family, because I've been there for quite some time, and I believe I have impacted in a way or another. And if I were to tell you about Mengo, wow, we might take today and tomorrow and the other day.
Yeah.
So I am honored to be here, and I am honored to be speaking on behalf of Mengo Senior School.
Wow, interesting. I love, you know, when you're speaking to the deputies, head of deputy, you feel it. I can feel it as you're talking to me, you know. So with that said, I want you to take us back. When you were growing up, did you dream of being a deputy, a head teacher, nurturing young ones? And which schools did you go to? Just a little bit about your background.
I went to a school just by Mengo Senior School, primary, and it is Namrebe Infant School. They are our neighbors. From Namrebe Infant School, I went to Maryhill. And I want to say that as I was growing up, I really wanted to be a teacher.
Wow.
Somehow, I dreamt of being a teacher and not anything else. In my heart, I knew I just could not do sciences. That's what I thought, at least. I had the feeling I would not do science as well, I guess it biased my choices in life. Yes, I've agreed with myself that I am an arts person, and if I had to teach, the subject had to be English language and not any other. And I want to say to you that I am a teacher of English language.
And how about literature?
Not literature. I majored in English language. Ideally, it should be English and literature, but I majored in the English language. And of course, as a girl, there were challenges as I was growing up. But I had the resolve that I had to make it in life. I am born to a single mother. My mom is a very determined woman. Very determined. When she sets herself to do something, she will do it. She gave birth to the three of us, and I guess she was set to see us through school as a single parent. Our dad went to be with the Lord when we were young. And so she taught us to work irrespective of the circumstance. She taught us to be contented with what she could give. And so we led our lives through school, appreciating that mommy was doing her best to see us in the best schools. I went to Mary Hill. Mary Hill is a very good girls' school. It's a Catholic school. Many people see me and they're like, how did you survive? Born again in a Catholic school. But I survived. Every school has rules. I had to play by the rules, and I am glad I am here. I am thankful for my mother. Yes, there were challenges in life, but with her, we had to rise above every challenge, rise to the occasion, and make meaning in life. I am glad I am here. I can't say that life was smooth, but I made it through life.
Wow. Interesting. With that said, you know, English is one of those languages, one of those subjects that not many teachers delve into. I remember when I was in secondary, there's a time we didn't have an English teacher, and they had to bring a student teacher, and she actually stayed. So when you talk about English, and most of us think we speak very good English, but actually when I come to you now, I get scared, because I know in Uganda we say, am I coming? We put question marks at the end of a sentence, and we believe that we've spoken good English. Now with that said, at Mengo, because Mengo, now that you ended up at Mengo SS, actually, I thought Mengo was a boarding school, because there is a time we hosted Mengo SS students here, and they were so well behaved. I was actually like, is it a boarding school? Is it a day school? How do you people manage to nurture these children, to calm them down to the point that when they appear out of school, they hold the flag high of Mengo SS? And they give, to tell you the truth, by the time those students left here, I was like, wow, who does this? So how do you manage to do that?
First, I want to confirm that Mengo is a day school. We are not a boarding school. But about their conduct, behavior anywhere, I'll say, first of all, that our core values drive us to do what we do. We run the school by 3 core values. The first one is fearing God. The second is respect of persons and property. And the third is integrity. One of the things that we do with our learners, our students, is that we pray. We know ultimately that when we are with them in school, we may not be in position to see all that they do. But even so, when they leave school, because they are day scholars, you cannot be sure of what they are going to do, how they will behave while on the road. We trust this big God who watches us even when no one is seeing. Prayer aside, we have school rules. Our rules are functional rules. So we take the trouble to take them through these rules, and the very first rule that we have is school image. In Mengo, you dent the school image, you go. So they know that wherever they are representing Mengo Senior School. Whether in uniform or not in uniform, wherever you are representing Mengo Senior School. Rules and regulations aside, we do a lot of guidance and counseling. We do a lot of talking. We talk to them literally on a daily basis. We put in a word of caution. We guide, how does one live responsibly? How does one make himself or herself resourceful? How does one manage their time? How does one present himself or herself before people, those you know and those that you do not know? How does one carry himself or herself outside school or in school? How does one relate with others in school? How does one relate responsibly? You know, I know that it is challenging out there. There are lots of things that may appear as distractors, but we try our best to do a lot of counseling and guidance. We do the guidance to the big groups, but we also do a lot of one-on-one counseling because we have teacher counselors, we have peer counselors, we also have trained counselors, full-time trained counselors, to talk to them, continually inspire them, nurture them, really bring out the best in them, academics aside.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. Let me ask you a very straight question now. Have you had scenarios where you have to expel some of these students because of their behaviors?
Of course, there are times we've had to let go of some. But in Mengo, even if a child has to be maybe requested to relocate, we do not call it expulsion. We call it change of station. Yeah, because sometimes a change of station helps one's conduct, you know. So even when we have to let some of them go, we do counseling.
Do you follow up? Do you do follow-ups to find out where the student has gone, or which schools they have gone, or once they leave the school, it ends there?
We do counseling. We do follow-up. Sometimes formally, other times informally. Actually, sometimes we have to get schools for them because, like I said, many times change of location helps a child's conduct. Sometimes it's bad peer influence. And you know, just getting this person out of the group and putting them aside in another group, in another environment, will help their conduct. So we recommend schools that we know will nurture them. Yeah, we've made those recommendations because we have linkages as well with other schools. Yes, so we find out. We follow
Mengo
up.
SS is in the middle of the city.
Yes, it is.
And then, as I told you earlier, this is out of reality. I one time had an interaction with your students and they were really on point, top notch with the mannerisms that you hardly go. When you go to other schools, they have funny things. When you meet students, but they were very organized. So being in the middle of the city, where a lot of things happen, maybe you can share a bit of the criteria you use, apart from just counseling, talking to them. What other measures do you use to tame them down? Because once these kids get out of school, they have telephones, they have internet everywhere, they have TV. So how do you people help to curb that down?
We do a lot of guided guidance, I should say. Our guidance pushed by the fact that we are an urban school, and so we know the challenges that they're likely to face as students in an urban place. We know that when they go out there, they're likely to find things like drugs, you know, drunkenness,
Others go to
betting,
Chivalas to watch movies.
betting, all those are challenges that they'll find on the way. Bad use of social media.
Yes.
It is very common,
Yes.
but we guide even on the use of the phone. We know that they have laptops, and in school we allow them to bring the laptops.
And what about the telephones?
Telephones, no, but they have the liberty to bring laptops and tablets because those can be used for academics. But again, we guide them on good use. We are intentional about our business with them. We guide them on good use of these gadgets, good use of social media. We guide them on expected behavior, even in society. The funny thing about the world is that there is nowhere where they'll appreciate evil. No one appreciates evil, no one appreciates mediocrity. So when we are talking to them, our message is that you have to be your best. Like it or not, you have to be
The best.
at your best. You have to do things right. You must present yourself in the best way possible. Even when you go out and meet a drunkard who is rich, even when social media presents alcohol as that thing that will keep you high and excited and lovely and happy, I mean, it is only short-lived. All those are realities that we share with them. That aside, we bring role models. We usually get people from out, people who have made it in life, people who have made it after a few falls,
Yes.
to come and share experiences with them. And when they share experiences with them, they are inspired. We bring professionals to talk to them because our business is academic. We bring professionals to talk to them. We do a lot of career guidance. And so when people talk to them, they're inspired in a way to be like so-and-so, like so-and-so. We do teacher parenting.
That's what I was about to ask you. That's how. Now, since it's a day school, you see in boarding schools, they have that day of visitation there where students have parent to teacher conversations, and then also the teachers have full time to attend to these students, 24 hours. You know, recently I was discussing with my friend, one of my friends, I advised her to take her kids to boarding because she had a busy schedule. And I was like, you realize once they go to boarding, part of you has gone with them. You will never get it back. You will never. Because they keep growing, and once they go to boarding, they will always be in boarding until university. After university, they get out and they want to stay alone. They may come home maybe for maybe 1 year if they are lucky. If they get a job, they'll leave home. So once they leave home, they leave home. Now, teachers, to me, it is not until when I took my daughter to boarding that I realized, okay, teachers really, we spend very little time with these kids. In boarding, they have a lot of time they spend with these kids. But now in day, you have about 8 hours a day, 8 to 7 hours a day. Now, how do you bring the teacher and parent approach when these kids are, night they are home, day they are at school?
We operate an open door policy at Mengo Senior School. So we welcome parents into school anytime. But that aside, we have what we call class days. And on these class days, parents are expected in school to come and discuss with the class teachers their children's conduct, their academic performance, any challenges, if any. Yes, it's on those days usually that we get parents in school. But also, most important, we have quality time with our children as teachers. And so if you note any unusual behavior with any child, it is the duty of a teacher to call the parent and talk to them. I talked about teacher parenting.
Yes.
We divide them in families, school families. And so I know I have mine that I take care of, yes,
so
that I take care of.
All of you have like, because
we
you
have
about
especially 6,000, but it is in the candidate classes and sometimes in the semi-candidate, because there we have a lot of academic pressure, a busy schedule, and they'll need a lot of love. We know that they'll need a lot of love and psychological help. So we break them down into families. So each teacher has like 7 to 10 of them, just to show love, to give assurance, to encourage, you know. And when we spend this time with them, we are able to note so-and-so does not seem to be doing well. They open up and they'll tell us, my parents fight every night. I do not come from a good and functional family. I have issues of school fees. I have challenges with boys. I am disturbed by my uncles at home and all that. And so when they open up, we get back to the parent. And on that note, a parent is expected to come to school and we work together for the success of this child.
And how far has it worked so far?
Oh, it works. It works so well because every parent would love to see their child succeed in Mengo Senior School. So parents are positive. They come and we work together, even on the class days, even when we don't have results to show them, any academic results to give them, they will still be there because they know that it is a time that we get to give them feedback from us, to tell them about the school, to hear from our head teacher When he begins to talk, you'll want to listen even for hours on end. He really has very good words of wisdom out to them. So they come and they get to listen to all this. We get to hear from them as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, it helps.
Wow, interesting. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you, have you had scenarios of girls who get pregnant and they are let out of school?
I've not heard of any. But I'm certain if we ever got one, we would handle the way government expects us to handle, because
Let them give
we are regulated by the ministry as well.
Wow, interesting. I am very intrigued about, you know why I'm asking you many questions? Because it's a day school. I've never been in a day school, but I'm just curious because these young people are in the city, as we've talked about, and they are always moving in and out. So the other aspect I wanted to talk about is drugs, specifically drugs. It has been noted, UBOS has it on record, that so many young people are getting into illicit drugs. And they are so smart that they outsmart us. Now, me and you, they outsmart us. They will put it in a soda and you will not know. Then there is the one which recently had some, I think I was reading some article about some boy who used to chew something like gum. And I can't mention the school, but this was a person who was going to school. Now, here is a day school where anyone can carry anything. So how have you managed, besides the counseling and all that, have you had scenarios like that, and how have you managed to handle so that other people can learn from them?
When you have a problem and you do not acknowledge you have it, then you're not going to solve it. When we see these challenges elsewhere, we embark on sensitization of our own children. Like I said, we give them real life experiences, real life examples, and show them that if you choose this is the way you're going to go. You decide to walk this way, that is where you're going to end. And so they know that anything with a substance abuse is not good. We sensitize, but also we do checks, random checks.
What about when they're getting to school? Do you have to do real
when they come in the morning,
open your book, see what's in your
randomly bag? I think as teachers, God has blessed us with intuition. When there is something wrong with a child, you will tell.
Wow.
And I don't know how it happens, but somehow you will add on one who has...
Teacher Gracia, Glorious, you are like the fifth teacher I've heard say the same thing, that every time they suspect a student to be mischievous, so they have done something. When they get there, they actually get them. Yeah. So how do you do it? Teach us also, parents, so that we can tell.
I think it's a gift that God gives us. I cannot give you the trick, but I think it's a gift that God gives us. So you know that when you call so and so and they behave this way, first thing is, may I have a look at your books? May I see your bag? And when you get to check their books, check their bag, ask them for their identity card and they do not have it, you know automatically that something is not right. So you start off at that point. When you go beyond this check, you realize the counselors have something to say, the peer counselors have information about this child.
Wow.
Before you know it, you know all about the child and you're in position to help. We have peer counselors who are on ground. We have student counselors who are on ground. We have prefects on ground. We have monitors, monitresses who are on ground. So somehow, information flow is good. We get to know a lot. We are in position to handle.
Wow, interesting. Schools have changed from the 90s and 2000s where it was very hard to find out some of the things. Now, that said, you had mentioned earlier that you are organizing something for, is it a get-together?
A 130-year celebration dinner?
Yes.
No, fundraising dinner?
Tell us about it, because I know there are so many OGs and OBs out there who have finished university, who are very, because the way you've talked about Mengo, it's like everyone who lives there has that passion about the school.
Yes, we do. Oh, it gives me joy to say to the world that Mengo this year is 130 years.
Wow.
We're celebrating 130 years of existence, and as we celebrate 130 years of existence, we attribute it all to God, because we know that schools come and schools go. Not everyone has been able to go past 25 years, not even 50, not even 75. So when we see ourselves at 130, we have every reason to thank God and to say, yes, we are there. So this year, as we celebrate the 130 years of existence, we have decided to embark on the construction of a dining hall. Old as we are, we do not have a dining hall to seat all our 6,000 plus in an organized manner, and yet we give them lunch on a daily basis, tasty food. So we decided that our signature project this year will be that dining hall. It's a very expensive project. It's a 9-floor storied building. It's a very big project, magnificent. When you look at it, you'll also be mesmerized, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah, it has lots of things on it. It has a cooking area, a cooling house, it has canteens, it has our parking area for the school cars, it has a gym and a health club. Health club because we have PE now, physical education, as a must in schools.
It's not like those days when the people, you remove clothes
and then you run in the field. No. We have, it has a seating area, the actual seating area, state of the art. It has a computer hall.
Wow.
With an 1,000-seater. It's 9.
9. Wow.
9 of them. And 1,000-student-seater computer hall. Yes. When we talk about all this, that means money. And as a school, it is the first time we're doing a fundraising for any of our structures. That is why we are calling upon all Ugandans, all Mengonians, all students, our parents, our friends, well-wishers, all those that God has placed to bless us, to come and we partner this year as we celebrate our 130 years of existence. This year particularly, as we construct the dining hall. It's a very expensive project. We actually tried to sit and calculate. If we did it all by ourselves, it could take us maybe 10 plus years. But if we get help from friends, friends like you, then it might last two years.
Wow.
We have churned out, Mengo as a school has churned out so many old students who are notable, noteworthy, great men and women. It is these that we are calling upon. We are calling upon friends to come and partner with us this year as we construct this dining hall. I know God will bless us.
Yeah, sure. Sure, He will. Because you see, one thing I like about the location of Mengo, it's like when the missionaries were putting up these structures, it was like a one-stop area, because I think there is a restaurant, there is a church, there is a school. I think, is it also a baby day something?
There is a Sanyu Baby's home
Sanyu
on the
Baby
same
home,
hill, yes.
In the same hill. So it's like everything was put in one place. And actually, you know, that is 130 years. So people who are out there should actually come and then we build. Because from what I've said, I will keep saying this. When I met your students, they were upright.
Wow.
I don't know about other people, but for me, when I meet you and I've not even known the values that you hold in your school and you display them in front of me, then I know that behind that student, there is a lot that has gone on. A lot of cooking, spices have been put in these kids to make sure that they are upright. With that said, I would like to go for a short break. We shall be right back. We are still here with Madam Glorious Bua, the Deputy Head Teacher at Mengo SS, the great Mengo. That is right now doing a fundraising to build a dining setup. As she has said, there are about 9 floors, so there is a lot of things that is going to be happening there. So let us come and support. When we come back, I'll ask her how we Ugandans can support her. For now, let us go for a break. We shall be right back. Welcome back to Super Soul Sisters. My name is Jamila Oluka and you're watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. It is such a good time to have someone from a very known school, also one of the great schools we have in Uganda, and that is Mengo SS. We are here with Madame Glorious Boa, one of the deputy teachers, the head deputy teachers at Mengo SS. Before we went for a break, she had actually talked about the fundraising dinner that they're going to be holding this year. She's going to give us details. And all of you, if you're from Mengo, even friends of Mengo, even anybody, as long as you're Ugandan and you believe in super education, because you never know. Today, you may be single. You're going to get married and your children will end up in Mengo. So if we come together and build something, because this is a structure that is going to be there for years. You've heard the school has been there for 130 years. So meaning, even in 20 years, this building will serve this nation, even after 100 years. Let's welcome back Madame Glorious Boa, and she's here looking lovely, like a Super Soul sister. Always, I told you, for us here at Super Soul Sisters, we make sure that we bring Super Soul sisters from all walks of life. And today we have a head teacher. I feel like a student, meanwhile, because, you know, when you've been to school and you see a head teacher, those days, nowadays students actually, they relate with their class teachers. They relate with their head teachers. Those days you see the headmaster or the headmistress, you dodge. But today I'm surprised that Madame Glorious is saying that students even come to you and jazz with you.
Yes, they do.
And they tell you, Madam, what?
They do, and ask for an apology when you miss a lesson. They do. They sure do.
Unlike those days for us, you see a head teacher, even when you are not wrong, for some reason there was this fear that was created between the teachers and the students, and you'd see your head teacher and you're like, oh my God, what is he going to do? Like the teachers, you look through you when you're a student, you feel like they know everything about you. So if you're not a very good student, you always tend to run away from them. Does that still happen today?
Of course, when one is not right, they'll run, like the Bible puts it. The wicked run, even when no one is chasing them.
Yes, the guilt.
And you know, that's what we tell them when we are with them. If you've not done anything wrong, why should you take off?
Yeah.
You know, it is part of confidence for you to be able to face just anyone who comes your way. It is part of confidence, self-esteem, for you to be able to stand up for yourself and express yourself responsibly. So I believe they do not take off because, one, they are our clients and friends, and we work with them.
Wow, interesting. I was just telling you my experience those days. You would see the head teacher. Even when you are not a runner, the way you dodge, and you're like, why are you running around? You're like, nothing, sir. But actually, probably because of the way the education has kind of changed now. There's more of teacher and students approach, like you guys talk to these kids. I see from our children, their confidence is there. They'll say, hey, you send for me money at school. They'll say, yeah, you give to this teacher, I will get it. Those days, it was a different story. So with that said, anyway, let's go back to what you had initially put across, something very important. Well, I think one of the most important things that we have talked today is about building that
mega dining hall complex.
Mega dining complex. So kindly, you can share with us, how can we help? Me as Jamila and the rest of the Ugandans, and we call them what?
Mengonians. We call them Mengonians.
So the Mengonians who are out there, don't just talk, I'm from Mengo, and you're not giving anything. Let's hear what the head teacher is going to be telling us now.
Okay, dear Ugandans, I am told this time everyone is coming in to support, and that's lovely. We have organized a number of events towards this celebration of the 130 years, but also to support our signature project, which is the Mega Dining Hall Complex. On the 17th of April, this month, yes, we are going to have a dinner, a fundraising dinner at school in our multi-purpose hall, and we want to welcome you, dear Mengonians. Our table is 3M. A table of 10 is 3M. We welcome you warmly. Come sit with other Mengonians and let's build together. That aside, we have a marathon on the 12th of July. That is in term 2. We have a marathon on the 12th of July, and we are doing a Mengo run. We want to call it a Zimba run. Our chief runner will be the Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, our mother diocese. We still welcome you all. You can come and run, and then, as you run, it will not be just about fitness, but you'll be building Mengo. Yes. We have the actual celebrations on the 18th of July.
Wow.
But before we get there, we have the dinner to do. We have the marathon. We also have a Momo Pay code, just in case you wish to contribute to this cause. Yes, you could send us money. Any amount will make sense. Okay? And our Momo Pay code is 784886. 784886. In the name of Mengo Senior School. Any amount that you have. Maybe you're not going to be able to come for the dinner or the marathon, but you're a Mengonian, a Ugandan who wishes to build with us. This is a cause so noble. We want to welcome you, and we will welcome any contribution. I trust that God will bless us all.
Amen. Let me say amen to that. I believe that it will actually pass, because you see, one thing I always tell people is like, don't wait. They are not asking you to contribute 1 million if you don't have. Even if you have 50,000, even if you have 10,000, even if you, whatever amount you have, give it. And there is no limit. You can keep sending. Every time you get, you put something. Every time you get, you put something, so that we build Mengo. So anybody can come on board and do this. When we build a nation, we build our future, we put our country there. So don't think that, for me, I'm not a Mengonian and I cannot. What if you marry a woman who is from Mengo? It says, won't you contribute? If you maybe get, so it's just we are together. It doesn't really matter which school you're from. The most important thing is that now we need to build Mengo, and the time is now. What advice? 2 things I want to know. As a parent, I'm now asking as a parent, what is the best method you can help our children to adapt to the school rules and atmosphere? And what can you advise the people out there who are seeing these young girls? I'm now focusing on young girls mostly. What message you have to those, I call them sharks. Those men are sharks. They are tigers. They are lions who look at these very young children. For me, I call them young children, because a child who has not yet started supporting themselves is a child, because they are under their parents. And then they go ahead and give these children advances, and they want to sleep with these children, and they don't even mind. They go ahead and impregnate these kids and confuse them. What advice do you have? 2 things.
First, it's absurd that we still have such men in society today. But to the parents, I will say this: be your child's friend. Be involved in their lives. When you live life with them, when you do life together, they will open up. And when they open up, you will advise them from an informed point of view. Today, as parents, we are so unrealistic, even with our children. We give them a picture of life that is not real. I don't know why, but there are things that naturally as parents that we cannot afford. I mean, other families will, others may not be in position. Tell them who you are. Give them the real you. Do not make them think that life is a bed of roses. If you cannot afford this, tell them that I cannot afford this. And it is okay, Tell them to appreciate that you give them. But also promise that when you're able to, you will give it to them. I think we need to teach them to be contented. With contentment, they will not be swayed. They will not run after things that do not make sense. Deliberately, as Mengo Senior School, we have chosen to give our children exposure. Why? Because we want them to be comfortable, even when they are away from school, to understand that what you have seen in school, you have seen for life. And so we deliberately show them even sophisticated lifestyles, so they will know that, okay, this is what I am going to fight for, this is what I am working for, this is where I want to be, this is better than I am seeing. Many times as parents, we do not tell our children that we are taking them to school to be better than we are. I always tell my students that my mother gave birth to me while young. She had not gone to school. Well, as I speak, she's a master's degree holder. She's that determined. She went back and decided to just start her education out of the blue till she got her master's degree, even before I and my siblings did, you know. But Mommy's resolve was that we would get the best that she could afford. All those around us supported us towards that. What I cannot give, you cannot have. What I have, you will get. And we went through life that way. She taught us that we had to be better than she is. And so when I see myself today as a deputy head teacher, my mother was not. She didn't take me to school to be like her. She took me to school to be better. And I've grown up knowing that I had to work and be better than that Mommy was. And so when she looks at me, she's proud of the glorious that she has. To the children, I want to say, you are God's temple. This body is not yours. You are not the owner of your life. There is a God who is in charge. So you don't just wake up and say, my mother has failed to give me this, my father has failed to give me this, let me take my life. It is not your life. God has trusted you with that life, so respect it. Behave like someone who is grateful that you actually have life. Because we have children who are continually in and out of hospital. Children who are sickly. Children who have chronic illnesses, and maybe the world has sentenced them already, and so they know that I am going to live for just this time. Yeah. I will soon go away. If such a child will persevere, will soldier on, will fight to make it in life, how about you who is well and alive? God is in charge of your life. So when you see yourself waking up alive every morning, coming to school, going back home, sitting exams, passing them and all this, be grateful. That life is God's life. He has only been good enough to keep you alive and well. So treasure it. When you treasure life, you will not be swayed by any pressures.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, very interesting information from the head teacher. Deputy head teacher. So for those of you who are there, I will not go ahead and repeat what she has said, but in just a summary, go to school and study. There is no time, the time is now. Let me tell you, when you grow up, you realize how lucky you were to even have gone to school, for those students who are at school. And then for parents, the other thing we didn't talk about because of time is some parents also spoil their children. They want to correct the child, but you think it is not time to correct the child. And then afterwards, you build a monster. When they come back to bite you, start making noise. And then people look on you and then you're like, people don't even want to talk to me because of my child. So nurture what you want to see tomorrow triumph. Like the way she has said, her mother went through a lot, taught them a lot, and now she's a deputy head teacher at Mengo. It is one of the best schools we have in Uganda. So with that said, children, for those of you who are school-going students, don't get into illicit drugs. Don't get swayed away by these men. They will impregnate you and they will look for another one. It's like a prey, you know. When a dog is looking for meat, it will eat this bone after it goes to another one. Then a lion wants meat, it will eat this animal and it goes to another. And so look at them like animals who are to prey on you. So just concentrate, go to school, focus. For the teachers, please help us take care of these children. For the parents, let's support the teachers. It is a teamwork thing. It is not only about the teachers. Some of us parents, we say, oyagende musemera jakwe sotinga. You have to sort your child first before they go to school. So here in Super Soul Sisters, we make sure we bring such information. With that said, I would like to thank you so much for watching UBC TV. Thank you so much, Madam Glorious, for coming here to share such insightful messages and information. And please remember to give to Mengo SS as they build that massive dining center. If you have not got the information, you can still get us on YouTube and you will watch this particular show. Also, you can walk to the school. Also, Google and find out. I mean, I think they're online. You can get them. You can get them online and call so that you contribute. Don't say that I don't have information. There is now online. You can Google and then get the information, call the school and see what you can do about it. So with that said, thank you very much. Always remember to watch Super Soul Sisters. My gratitude goes to the team behind Super Soul Sisters. You only see me, but I have such a big team that works with me, the camera people, the production team, the editing team. Thank you very much. And to UBC TV management, thank you so much for making sure that this program airs and also it goes to the right people. With that information, I would say bye-bye.